Hey everybody, Manny Talaber here. First of all, I want to thank you all for opting in and taking a look at my videos and taking a look at the product today. What I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of my background and give you a little bit of that setup. And we're going to talk a little bit about online marketing and what the business looks like. We're going to give you real basic information in this video. And then in the second video, we're just going to give you a little bit more information about what building an online business is all about. And then in the third video, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go over the offer that I'm making to you all so that you can make kind of an informed decision. And so again, I really appreciate each and every one of you all for being here today. And just a little bit of inside baseball. I've got 3 videos here, and the thumbnail, the picture in those videos is a picture of me with my great niece, Harlow Mary Jane. If you've been in the Newcastle group, you're probably a little bit familiar with Harlow Mary Jane. She's my great niece, and ultimately my goal is to actually open another pool room in Newcastle. And if I do open another pool room, the name of the pool room will be Harlow Mary Jane's, and the goal is to do that in the next 12 to 18 months. I still want to open another room, and we will talk about that a little bit more later on. And so before we get started, I'm gonna give you all just give you all some insights here. There's a guy by the name of Russell Brunson. Russell Brunson owns a business called ClickFunnels, and ClickFunnels sells software, funnel software for selling courses online. And I use ClickFunnels. I'm a huge fan, been using it for quite a while. Russell Brunson also sells, of course, he sells coaching and courses, and he's been in the space for quite a while, and he does about $100 million a year. The next person is Frank Kern. Frank Kern just released a video, I think 3 or 4 days ago, that you can actually go and watch on YouTube. And the video is how the 15 things that I used to scale to over 50 million. So Frank Kern's well over $50 million now. The third person is Jeff Walker. Jeff Walker owns a business called Product Launch Formula. Product Launch Formula he sells, by the way, Frank Kern sells courses and coaching. All of these people pretty much do. Jeff Walker has a course called the Product Launch Formula, and he also sells coaching. I think he sells Product Launch Formula for, I think, $19.97, so around $2,000. And Jeff Walker's done around $80 million in revenue. And then the fourth person is Dan Kennedy. And Dan Kennedy is basically the biggest person in marketing right now. A lot of people, I've spent about 25,000 hours studying these people. And so some people say Dan Kennedy, some people say Jay Abraham. Those 2 people are the 2 biggest people in our space. And Dan's probably done for himself over $250 million. He's not necessarily an online person, but he works with both online and offline business owners. And so a lot of the people in our space, they started out studying either Jay Abraham, Dan Kennedy, or both. And I actually studied both. Now, this is the thing. 4 people: Dan Kennedy, Frank Kern, Jay Abraham, Jeff Walker. I could give you 200 more examples. But this is the reason I gave you those examples. If you go to my personal page on Facebook and you scroll to the top of the page, at the top of the page, there's a banner. And in the banner, there are 4 pictures. And those pictures are me with Frank Kern, Jeff Walker, Dan Kennedy, and Russell Brunson. And collectively, those people have made, they basically generated billions of dollars for themselves and clients. I have met those people many times, and I've actually worked with every single one of them in one way or another. I was in Frank Kern's inner circle for a few years. I also did a lot of work for Glazer Kennedy Inner Circle back in the day. I think I worked with Glazer Kennedy Inner Circle for about, I think, 4 or 5 years, quite a while. And they changed, the business changed hands a few times, and ultimately I quit working with them. But I worked with those people for a very long time. And so what I'm telling you all, number one, is I have not been hacked, and that this is not a scam, and this is a real thing, and there's a real opportunity here, and I'm not a scam artist or anything. That you can see me with people who are the biggest marketers in the space, and one of the things you all need to do is Google or type into the search bar on YouTube Russell Brunson, Frank Kern, Dan Kennedy, and Jeff Walker. And what you will see is a metric ton of information, and what you'll see the size and scope of the kind of businesses those people have built. The other thing that you will see if you're on my page is that you will see I've got a private Facebook group. It's called the Coaches, Consultants, and Course Creators Group. There's around 9,500 people in there, but that group at one point was over 21,000 people. So at one point it was 21,000, but I'm the admin. I created the group and I deleted it down to about 9,500 because reach in private Facebook groups is a problem. It's hard to get eyeballs on offers and things like that. And so we removed a lot of inactive members from that group. I've also got 4,500, 4,700 on my personal page and about 4,500 followers. And all of those people with them. So you figure 9,000 people there. And I would say 80% of those people are from the online marketing, from basically the online marketing business. So most of those people are following me not because I'm local or anything to do with Newcastle, but it's based on online marketing and selling marketing and coaching and things like that. So if you look at what's interesting is at one point, I mean, I think I was in front of about 60,000 people here because I had the Newcastle group, 17,000, 10,000, around 9,500, 10,000 on my personal page. At one point, the coaches and consultants group was over 20,000. And I've got another group with 27,000 people in it, but we really don't do much with that now. And so, so all I'm wanting to do by giving you all this information is demonstrating that this is not a side hustle. As a matter of fact, on my personal page, I would estimate I've got around 100 friends on my personal page that I've interacted with, and many of these people I've met who have made over $1 million selling coaching, consulting, courses, and things like that at over 100 people, not a small amount of people. And these people have all made well over $1 million. And so again, not a side hustle. To date, I have created over 80 courses and I've worked with over 300 coaching clients. And so the basis for online marketing is we're going to sell courses or we're going to sell coaching, and that the coaching can be sold one-on-one or it can be sold in group. You get to choose how you're going to do that. I have one client that's made over $3 million. And I have many, many, many clients I've worked with who have scaled well past 500,000, and many of those people are closing in on $1 million. As a matter of fact, some of those clients who, in some cases, I've lost contact with because I've worked with so many people. Some of those people are probably over $1 million now. Right now, I'm working on a course called Marketing Consultant Mastery. I originally released it a few years ago. Right now, we're updating that course, and the goal is to sell that for either $997 or $1997 and have a back-end coaching offer as well for that. And the goal is to scale that to $1 million running Facebook ads. And that's the big thing that I'm working on. And so to give you the path and show you what all of this looks like, it's very simple. We start out with a skill. You start out with a skill that delivers massive transformational value to a group of people. You have to start with the skill, because once you have the skill, then what you do is you go out and find those people on Facebook. And the first thing you do is you invite them to your personal page. So what we do is we find people on Facebook, we get them onto our personal page, we deliver value to them on our personal page, and then we move them into our own Facebook group. And we build a Facebook group. And then what we do on our personal page and in our group, what we do is we deliver a metric ton of value to those people. And then we make offers to those people. And we're going to offer those people coaching. We're going to offer them courses. If you're selling courses, The courses are generally sold by making an offer or delivering email to those people over a period of time and then making an offer through a funnel. And we do a lot of that as well. I can tell you, in addition to all of that, I've got around 3,000 people on my email list. And so I've got quite a bit of infrastructure here that I built over time to do all of this. But I just wanted you all to see the path. And the path is very simple. We build an audience, we deliver value to that audience, and then what we do is we make them offers. And if you're selling coaching, the coaching is very simple, simply sold with strategy session. And so what we do there is we deliver a metric ton of value, and we say, look, if you're interested in more help with this, I am taking on a few coaching clients. Send me a DM, and I'll be glad to jump on a call with you. And so what we do is we do 20 to 30-minute strategy sessions with people, either on the phone or on Zoom. And through those strategy sessions, what I do is I ask a series of questions. And if the fit's right, I make an offer to those people for coaching. And if the fit's not right, I don't make an offer. And so worked with over 300 people, done over 3,000 strategy sessions, worked with over 300 people. Over half of those people are international, which means they're outside the US. Most of the people, I work with people in the UK, Canada, Singapore, Japan, just like I said, a lot of international people, but a lot of national people also, a lot of people all over the United States, but also some international as well. And so that's kind of what all of this looks like. And so this is the thing. I've never, ever, ever made a local offer before like this. And I can tell you, I won't make another one. This is the only time I'm doing this. And when I decided to do this, I can tell you it's been something I thought about for quite a while. But I kept pushing it back because I'm working on a lot of other things. And I knew there would be blowback. And so just to give you some insights, I've got 9,000 people on my personal page, and I've got 9,500 in the coaches, consultants, and course creators group that at one point was over 21,000. So at one point there were 30,000 people here. I probably made 100 offers to those people, at least, maybe even more. I mean, if you scroll my page slow enough, you can look, you can see a lot of offers. Now, not all the offers were made on my personal page. A lot of them were also made in the group. But I can tell you, never, ever, ever had anyone call me a scammer, ever, in any of those two places. Never had anyone laugh at an offer, be angry that I made an offer. So all of this blowback is very simple. It's because I'm selling to people who are not educated and not sophisticated about what this business looks like. So unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who they think the only way to make money is by going and getting a job and working for someone. People are up on what they know and they are down on what they don't know. And so that's the reason for all of that blowback. And unfortunately, I kicked probably 50 people out of my groups. And the reason for that is, people can stay ignorant. I don't really have any problem at all with that. You can. I mean, people either stay ignorant or they educate themselves. That's what they do. But you can't call people scammers. And you can't laugh at someone's post just because you don't understand that there's another way to make money out there besides working a job or working for someone else. And like I said, the bottom of the post, to be fair, it says, if this is something you're interested in, that's great. And if it's not, keep scrolling. Gave them all the opportunity. And also, to be fair, I'm 100% transparent on this. If any single person watching this video put an offer in my Newcastle group to sell something, and anyone called you a scammer or laughed at your post, I would kick them out of the group too. We don't allow that. We promote local, we support local, and we certainly don't allow that. We don't allow nonsense. And so, like I said, we are very protective of our group members. We are very protective of our audience. And so, like I said, like I said, in 15 years of doing this. Coaches, consultants, and course creators group. I've got another group of 27,000, my personal page, and no one's ever laughed at a post. No one's ever called me a scammer. And then in the Newcastle groups, you see the blowback. And the reason, again, like I said, is because people just don't understand this. They don't understand this business. And so again, I've never made an offer like this, and I'll never probably make an offer like this again. I did it out of the kindness of my heart to help people who might want to find another way to make money besides working for other people, and to basically share that there's an opportunity out there that people aren't familiar with. I can tell you, I could probably name 50 people who've made $1 million in one day selling coaches, 50 people who've made $1 million in one day selling courses, coaching, all of the stuff. And so it's just a completely different way of making money. And if I were to post that in my group in the Newcastle, if I posted it in the Newcastle group, people would go completely berserk. If I posted it on my personal page or in the coaches, consultants, and course creators group, everybody would really, really appreciate it. As a matter of fact, I've got a post about John Reese. John Reese was the first person to make $1 million in 24 hours online. And I post that consistently on my personal page, and people love that content. They really appreciate that story. And so just to kind of like I said, that's the reason I've never made any kind of offers local, because I don't want to sell locally. And the reason I don't want to sell locally is because I've got these audiences on my personal page and in the group, and those audiences are they're USANs, they're online marketers, they're familiar with making money online. And so I don't have to educate those people at all. I simply put an offer in front of those people, and they either buy or they don't buy, but they are educated and they understand opt-in, email list, buy, so they understand the course and the coaching business, rather than the people in the Newcastle group who really, for the most part, this is completely foreign. And this is the thing. I appreciate that people aren't educated on this, because I wasn't until I was. And like I said, people can choose to stay ignorant of the facts and not understand what all of this looks like. And they can't. I don't care about that. You just can't get in there and call people scammers in my group. So that's the problem. And like I said, unfortunately, and I knew there would be a lot of blowback, and that's one of the reasons I didn't do this. Now, this is another thing that we're going to talk about. In the whole time I've ever been doing this, I've met 4 people who I actually worked with. So I've sold thousands and thousands and thousands of courses, and I've sold coaching to over 300 people, and I've met 4 of them. The first person I met was Dan Deline. Dan Deline, I started working with right at the beginning of my career, so to speak. And I helped Dan scale from 0 to around, I think he landed around $600,000. And I ultimately ended up going out to Missouri and meeting with Dan and his people, and they hired me for some consulting, and I went out and met with them. But that's the only group of people I've ever actually went out and met with. The rest of the people I've met with have been people I met at, so clients who also follow Russell Brunson, Dan Kennedy, and go to those conventions, because I went to Funnel Hacking Live a number of times and met a few clients there. And also Dan Kennedy's event, I met a few clients there as well at the Super Conference back in the day. And so the great thing about this business is it's not a local marketing business. It's a national or international business. And you can sell local if you want to. I really choose not to really do much with local, but you can certainly do that. And like I said, my 2 rules of thumb are don't sell local. And then the other thing is don't sell to startups. My goal is really to sell to setups, people who have an ongoing business, people who already built something, people who have something off the ground they want to scale. Because I'll walk you through this. If I have someone, and I've done this hundreds of times for people, and they've made $30 or $40 or $50,000 with an offer, it's very easy for me to look at that offer and look at their place in the marketplace and help them to scale to $500,000 or more. Like I said, Hakeem White, he's over $3 million now. And the reason for that is these people already have the infrastructure. They have the product, they have the offer, they have the funnel, they often have Facebook ads, they have a proven concept, people are willing to give them money, and they've got all of that bandwidth. So all I need to do is look at that offer and help them improve on that. And I've done that many, many, many times for people. It's way easier to take someone from 20,000 to 500,000 than take someone from zero to $1,000. Way easier, because the person at zero, they're starting with an idea. And not only are they only starting with an idea, they don't have any of the infrastructure, but they also have a lot of bandwidth that they need to get over. So a lot of them have fears. They're scared to go live on Facebook. They're scared to put themselves out there. They don't like the way they look. They don't like the way they sound. They feel they're too young. They feel they're too old. And they have a lot of anxiety about all of that. But when you're dealing with the setup, they don't have that. And so that's the reasons I choose to sell the setups, and I choose to not sell, to really not so much sell local. And so another thing that we're going to talk about here is, like I said, I met with Dan. I met 3 or 4 people here in group, in events and things like that. But I essentially what happened. I owned a pool room. I had a 16-table pool room in Carmel. I had that for a number of years. When we closed that, I came back to Newcastle, and I was deciding. I basically decided I was building this out, and I was kind of doing some of it in Carmel already. I basically built this business around my skill sets, and I built the business the way I wanted to build it. And so when I had the pool room, I had employees. I don't want to have employees, so I don't have employees now. And a lot of people have a lot of employees in their online business, so they have people that do a lot of stuff for them, and I choose not to have all of that. I built the business around, like I said, around my strengths and what I want to do. The other thing is I'm legally blind and I don't drive. And so like I said, I don't want to meet with people locally. I don't want to do that. So the problem with all of that is this: even if you're selling coaching, so let's say I'm selling coaching and I'm selling coaching for $500 a month. And when I first started out, it was 4 30-minute sessions. It's 20-minute sessions now. But 4 30-minute sessions is 2 hours. Well, if you're selling coaching at $500 a month and you're doing 4 30-minute sessions, that's $250 an hour. So $250 an hour is fairly good money. It's legitimate money. This is the problem, though. I'm doing phone calls and I'm doing Skype calls. If I have to go out and meet with people who are, if I have to go out and actually physically meet with people, legally blind, I don't drive. I'm gonna have to hire someone. Now, this is the thing. The whole time I was in Carmel, when I had the pool room, I had employees, I had staff, I had people that ran me around, I had people that did a lot of stuff for me. And now that I'm in Newcastle, I do have a few people who are what I would call handlers or PAs, who basically do things for me as needed. But if I have to go meet with people, first I'm gonna have to pay someone to take me there. And then I'm gonna have to wait, because maybe that person's on time. Now, what if the person's 20 minutes late? So if I had to pay someone, my hourly rate goes down. Now I have to go meet with someone and I have to wait for them. Now my hourly rate goes down even more. They show up late. Then they want to keep me overtime. My hourly rate goes down even more. And so you take that, $250 an hour hourly rate, and now you're down to $40 or $50 an hour, because you have all of these things. Plus, it's a major time burner to do all of that. That's the reason it's called online marketing. It's all about building a massive amount of people and selling that audience, and not dealing with people one-on-one or anything. And you can't scale the business if you have to go out and meet with a bunch of people. And so that's the reason. Now, another thing is, I've had a lot of health issues. So I had a heart attack 2 years ago, and I've had another number of health issues. And so from day to day, my situation is a little bit shaky as far as how well I'm doing. And so that's another reason, like I choose not to go out and meet with anyone. And what's interesting is I had two different people send me DMs, right? And that they sent me DMs and they want to meet up. They're like, they want to meet up. And I'm like, I don't do that. That's not what I do. And they were mad. They were upset with me. And I don't, and I understand that. Unfortunately, I have set this business up around my strengths, and my strengths are marketing, strategy, and helping people. And I do that by selling courses, and I do it by selling coaching. And the coaching is delivered by phone and by Zoom. It's not delivered by going out and meeting with people. And these people hadn't even given me any money yet. See, that's the other thing. It's one thing if someone hires you and they paid you money and they want you to meet with them. But it's another thing, these people haven't even given me any money. And this is the other thing too, that to a point, I consider this would be a job interview. So someone has read my post, they're interested, but they want to see if I'm real or not. And they want to ask me a lot of questions, and they want to qualify me. Well, I don't do job interviews. I don't chase clients, I attract clients. The people who are the right fit are going to work with me. The people who are not the right fit won't work with me, and I'm fine with that. And like I said, these people were very, very nice. Don't get me wrong there. But like I said, my business is not conducive to going out and meeting with people. And even if I was charging $1,000 a month for coaching, and some random person happened to be in Newcastle and wanted to do coaching and wanted to pay that kind of fees, I still wouldn't do it, meeting with people. I don't need to meet with you in order to help you with your business. I know, I'm an expert in what I'm doing. I know the questions to ask. I don't need to do any of that. And so, like I said, and this is the thing, I'm not telling you all not to meet with people. You can certainly do it. But what I'm telling you is this is all about building a very, very large audience. So you build a large audience, and what you do is you deliver value to that audience over a period of time. And then ultimately we offer them courses, and then we offer them coaching. And like I said, this is another thing. Like I said, I'm not going to sell anything else to this group of people. And so generally what you create is a product curriculum. And the product curriculum is, we're going to have $97 offers, and then $297, and then $497. And we're going to sell courses to a lot of people. And then we're going to offer those people who bought courses from us, we're going to offer them coaching programs. And that's how I got a metric ton of coaching clients, was because they bought something else from me on down the line, and then they needed one-on-one help, and they reached out. The problem, though, is if I were to offer coaching to this group of people, this is the conversation that would happen. We would get on a call and they would say, hey, Minnie, I'm only 3 miles away. We could certainly meet up. It wouldn't take up any more of your time. And see, I don't want to have that conversation. And so that's the reason, like I said, I choose not to do local. And like I said, you can choose, if you decide to do some local coaching, you can certainly do that. I would advise you to do it in group and not one-on-one, because if you do it in group, your money's multiplied, and it makes more sense to do it that way. But like I said, I wouldn't meet with people for a strategy session. I certainly wouldn't be going out and meeting people in person to do strategy sessions. And so I just wanted to give you some insights about me and some basics of the industry, what it looks like. That was the goal here, and kind of give you my modus operandi, why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, what it looks like. And what's interesting, I can tell you that as you start going out there in the marketplace and studying a lot of other people in the space, what you're going to see is they pretty much have it set up the same way. They do coaching by Stripe and by Zoom and telephone. They either work with people one-on-one, or a lot of these people only work with people in a group, and they certainly don't meet with anyone live. And then they sell courses they're selling courses as front-end product to ultimately sell coaching. And that's what it looks like. So I'm going to end out. I appreciate each and every one of you all for being here. And in the next video, we're just going to give you more of a diatribe about what online coaching and online courses in the online space looks like, so that you can kind of make an informed decision if you want to kind of move forward. But I appreciate you all being here, and thanks a lot.